Stand by everything. Go see. My cue.
When there's trouble, big or small, these people take action. Tonight, an inside look at the Calcasieu 911 Center. Plus, a local doctor admits to nearly $1 million in health care fraud. And why Governor Jindal has some good news for Louisiana smokers. 7 News at 6 starts now.
Go see.
Now, in high
going straight to a slot out of one.
Sponsored by Nissan of Lake Charles. This is 7 News
Stand
at
by
6.
one. Sound it up. Mic cue.
That's the moment it went from bad to disastrous.
We're going to wipe with banner to video out of
a fire at a fertilizer plant near Waco, Texas last night when suddenly there was a massive explosion. The blast was felt 40 miles away. The explosion triggered what Texas Governor Rick Perry called a truly nightmare scenario.
We're going to wipe with banner to video out of
10 to 15 people may be dead, maybe even more. Several volunteer firefighters who were battling the initial blaze are listed as missing tonight. At least 160 people were injured. When the sun rose this morning, we could see the full power of that explosion. A four-block area around the plant was like a war zone. As many as 75 homes destroyed or damaged. One survivor talked about the explosion and the frightening aftermath.
I just saw the explosion, and then after that, I took off running. And
20
then,
seconds coming back center.
I saw the rest home, and people, were buried under the west home. The west home was gone. And just evacuating the rest home, helping them, getting the critical ones into the hospital
5
here.
5 seconds, less than 5.
It was just crazy.
Mic cue.
Hundreds of emergency responders were called to the area in that explosion, dispatched by emergency centers in different parts of Texas.
At the flash.
KPLC's Jared Jordan is here with a look inside the Calcasieu 911 Center to see how it all happened.
Mic cue, Jared.
Yes, Cynthia. Do you know what happens when you call 911? Well, of course someone answers, but who is it and how in just a matter of moments do they have the ability to dispatch any type of emergency responder to your area? To find out, I got an inside look at the Calcasieu Parish's E911 Center. Take a look. Long before the police cars, fire trucks, and even ambulances come to call.
This is a minute 48.
Where's your emergency?
Your emergency is the
Christina
out cue. We'll come back to the flash.
As a
We'll go to
911
centered
operator
on
in Calcasieu Parish for 9.5 years.
We take the disjointed, emotionally charged information that we're given, and that all of that can be very difficult.
A year-long training academy teaches operators how to answer multiple call types, work the data entry systems, and dispatch the appropriate agencies.
That's one of the best things about the district is our training and our education.
Executive Director of the center, Robert Martin, says that based on the averages, call volume in Calcasieu Parish is where it should be based on the population. Last year, the center logged roughly 188,000 calls, which breaks down to about 1 call per person. And with 500 to 700 calls coming in per day, the hub often hears their fair share of non-emergency calls.
This man, it was an emergency. Cable TV was out, and he had a bet on the game.
It's out.
It was not an emergency.
But the operators, trained to treat each call with a certain level of caution, aren't the jury or the judge.
You want to remember that this could be your mom, this could be your dad, your grandmother, your cousin, having these problems.
Feelings of accomplishment and service is what keep operators like Christina loving her job.
I leave here every day feeling like I did something positive.
But leaving is sometimes the hardest part.
It's not knowing what happened at the end of the call, whether or not that 3-year-old that got hit by the car lived, or if the house that was on fire, if they managed to save it or not. Going home and not knowing sometimes can be a little hard.
5 seconds.
An ending they can never tell to a beginning they'll never forget.
Standing by.
911, where's your emergency?
Mic cue.
Now, each parish has their own hub similar to the Calcasieu Center that dispatch first responders to emergencies. Like the example Martin gave of a man's emergency having no cable, he reminds people it is possible to face criminal action if dialing 911 in jest. At your service, Jaron Jordan, KPLC 7 News.
Thank you, Cynthia.
And 911 operators played a huge role in the minutes after Monday's bombings of the Boston Marathon.
Full screen.
And tonight we have the first images of 2 suspects.
We're going to animate the full screen
out
and then go to a nap
dark
pop out
hat,
of
the
3.
other a white hat turned backward. Video shows they appear to be walking together at one point.
So 3. My cue.
Thousands packed Boston's Cathedral of the Holy Cross today to pay
We're gonna
respect to those injured or killed in Monday's marathon blast and to thank those who were there in a time of need. The overall messages were clear. America stands with you. We will not cower to attacks of terror, and we will not rest until justice is brought to those behind the evil act.
Sound up one.
Even with the smell of smoke in the air and blood on the streets.
19 seconds.
Tears in our eyes.
Our city, more VO coming back keen.
On Monday
10 seconds.
It's a glorious thing.
5.
A love and the strength covers our city.
Mike, you.
President Barack Obama told the people of Boston that every one of us stands with you following Monday's deadly bombing. Meanwhile, LSU officials just announced what they call a major achievement in keeping people safe this football season and beyond. LSU is one of 11 schools in the nation to receive sport event security certification from the National Center for Spectator Sports Safety and Security. The group worked with LSU for the last year and a half to go over many different plans to protect the public from things like we saw in Boston a few days ago. LSU officials say they have plans in place to deal with all sorts of scenarios in the event anyone would target one of their sporting events.
She's up on cam.
Police say a 15-year-old
will eventually advance our key on
has been taken to the Lafayette Juvenile Detention Facility after a gun was found in the student's backpack on campus yesterday morning. Police say the student didn't intend to cause any harm and brought the gun in order to show off. The gun was a .22 caliber revolver. Police say it belonged to the teenager's parents. A Lake Charles doctor pleads guilty in a healthcare fraud case. Federal prosecutors say 63-year-old Dr. Lynn Forey defrauded Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurance companies out of nearly $1 million. Investigators say for 6 years, Forey injected patients' knees with a steroid solution while claiming he was using a more expensive drug and pocketing the difference. Forey tonight faces 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. A sentencing date has not been set.
She's up on cam.
They don't count. That's Governor Jindal's reaction to 2 votes on his plan to privatize LSU hospitals, including Moss Regional and Lake Charles. The governor says the votes in the House and Senate calling for all privatization deals to get legislative approval were just resolutions and therefore don't have the rule of law. He says lawmakers would need to change a state statute to get such approval authority. There's a proposal for Lake Charles Memorial and West Calcam hospitals to take over Moss Regional. And the governor says if the big cigarette tax hike gets to his desk, he'll veto it. The $1.05 per pack increase was one of the proposals Jindal was pushing just a few weeks ago, but today he made it clear now that the plan to repeal the state income tax has been taken off the table, he has every intention of vetoing the cigarette tax if it makes it through. Well, rain is moving through the area this evening. Wade Hampton joins us now with more on that.
In fact, we had the severe thunderstorm warning a little earlier for Verdon Parish, but that has been allowed to expire. Here's a look at the radar across southwest Louisiana. Good news at the moment, nothing appears severe, and if anything were, it would not last very long, at least the severe potential of it would not, and if it were, it would be some small hail and maybe some gusty winds. You can definitely see some pretty heavy rain going on across sections of Allen Parish. Will put this into motion. The rain, each individual cell of rain is moving to the northeast, but the whole line is moving east, so some rain from Oakdale to Oberlin all the way down to near Kinder, Moss Bluff to here in Lake Charles as well, and also this big line of rain is where the cold front is located as well. And look at the temperature difference. 66 now here in Lake Charles, 58 Fort Polk compared to 76 in Jennings. Yeah, that's where your cold front is in between Lake Charles and Jennings. Temperatures will continue a pretty steady drop through the evening. Eventually,
go to video out of 3 next.
Complete list of forecast coming up in less than 10 minutes.
All right, it's going to be cold. Thanks a lot, Wade. Now to what's being called a burp within the sinkhole in Assumption Parish.
We're going to wipe to the bump video out of 1.
You can animate out the banner out when you're ready. The size of the sinkhole has already grown. This morning, we're told more land sunk in on the east side and water continues to move in the sinkhole. That means there could be more burps and expansions in the near future. In the meantime, all work at the sinkhole site has been shut down. Next, why Sisson's big investment in southwest Louisiana has some call on the United States, the new China. That story as 7 News at 6 continues.
2, 1, fade, take it. That was a good block. 2 minutes. Why don't you ask your convict boyfriend who's going to kill Justin?
Yeah.
Are you sure? 15. But in like once they go to jail, 10. Send my sound from C. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go C. Standard by. Go key, my cue.
Sisson's $16 to $21 billion gas to liquids project is believed to be the largest foreign direct investment ever in the United States. It's attracting attention of economic developers from across the country, some of whom came here for the Gulf Coast Trade Alliance's World Trade Conference. KPLC's Teresa Schmidt reports from Kinder.
1.
It's estimated by 2017,
this is 2 minutes even. Standard out. Q will come back. Key to a banner.
And by 2019,
for the tag, then we'll go to 3 and a 2 for the bulk.
It's created huge opportunities for companies to export liquefied natural gas. Cheniere Energy's Jason French says they have contracts for exports for the next 20 years.
We have signed customer agreements for the next 20 years. Every drop of gas that comes out of that facility, the Louisiana facility, for the next 20 years has already been sold. So if you're looking to buy massive quantities of liquefied natural gas, you're out a lot of funds.
Mike Hayes is Corporate Affairs Manager for Sisson North America Mega Projects. The Gas to Liquids Project and associated projects represent the largest foreign direct investment ever in the United States.
I'm not using
it. Now they are working on permits.
Minimum of 1,200 new jobs, probably going to be 200 over that. 7,000 construction jobs, $46.2 billion over the next 20 years.
It's out. Is there times off again?
From Washington, D.C. is
1
the
minute.
Deputy Director of Select USA within the Department of Commerce. He says Sasol's plans resonate with many in Washington and around the country. Brickman says at a conference in Germany last week, they were calling America the new China.
The United States is experiencing a manufacturing resurgence.
How would you ooh at that? 30.
And hundreds of thousands of jobs have been created in manufacturing in our country. And the Gulf Coast is right there in the middle of it. And the world is paying attention to the United States for manufacturing because of cheap energy, because of labor productivity,
15.
Because of our university system, because of our trade school system.
Select USA was created by executive order of the President to encourage and facilitate investment in the U.S. At your service in Kinder, Teresa Schmidt, KPLC 7 News.
Yeah, Mike, you.
And to listen to more of our interview with Deputy Director Brickman and David Connor with the Local Economic Development Alliance, log on to KPLC-TV.com. The conference continues at Coushatta Resort in Kinder through tomorrow at noon. Wade Hampton joins us now with our weather and some changes in the making.
Stand by your break.
Yeah, definitely going to be much cooler. Even when you and I are done here at the news in a little while, it is going to be much cooler when we step outside. Look at the wind speeds outside right now, anywhere from 10 to 15, but notice some of the directions have changed to a northwesterly direction, and yes, there are some showers as well. We'll have the latest on the radar view and your forecast coming up right after this.
Kill his mind and fade. Already missed Cedric. 2.5. Yeah, I don't want to run to my next flight. 15. 10, because the airport's huge and your terminals are far apart.
They have trains.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see.
Now your pinpoint forecast with Chief Meteorologist Wade Hampton.
Mike, you.
Well, good evening to you. Some of you have already seen the cold front move through. Others, it will be not too much longer before this cold front moves through. Now, the good news, the severe weather aspect of this has pretty much not materialized. We had the one severe thunderstorm warning about 45 minutes or so ago that covered the northwest corner of Vernon Parish, but other than that, I haven't seen anything turn severe locally, and I think our chances of that for tonight is extremely low. Maybe one or two of these storms near Jasper still could be producing some small hail, but nothing that seems severe, at least certainly not at this point. We'll continue to monitor it until all the rain comes to an end later tonight to make sure it remains the case, but a fairly wet commute along US 165 from just south of Alexandria all the way south through Oakdale and even on toward the Oberlin area. This whole line, though, is working to the east, and this is the cold front itself. So to the east of that, still much warmer. Behind it, it is much cooler with temperatures dropping some 15 to even 20 degrees. That front lined up pretty much right along US 165 now from Kinder all the way to about Le Bleu Settlement and heading very close now to Iowa. It won't be long. It'll move through your area as well. It has already moved through here in Lake Charles with temperatures dropping drastically. There are other showers, though, behind this cold front that have popped up. You can still see some rain for DeQuincy down to where the starts in Benton area, and we'll kind of move to the northwest from here up toward Maryville, some showers, and this is probably the strongest storm in northern Jasper and Newton County, right there between Newton and Jasper specifically.
Remind me
this is moving northeast, maybe some small hail with this. This is the same area where the thunderstorm earlier turned severe and it moved in the northern portions of Vernon Parish. Back out to a wider view, don't forget about you in Cameron Parish, where we also have the cold front moving through right now into Cameron itself. Headed towards Sweet Lake and Grand Lake here. We're virtually within the next 5 to 15 minutes. Already had moved through Johnson County as well as Holly Beach and Hackberry. Again, nothing severe, but it is going to stay rather windy behind this cold front. Our weather headlines call for the cold front now or soon, depending on where you are. Rain should be ending by around midnight, then the weekend.
We haven't had a single issue since I've been doing
this. From our weather watchers, most of these before the front moved through. 75
Nicole
for
is the greatest person in the world.
Jackie Troy and Moss Bluff 65. The coolest Kent and Walter over in the Benton area. Now down to 63. Sulphur here in Lake Charles now down to 64. But compare that to 76 Jennings. Yeah, that's where your cold front is, and our computer model shows that nicely. Temperatures in the 60s behind the front, even some 50s. It should move through the Jennings area within the next 45 minutes. Probably a little after 8 o'clock before it moves through Lafayette. So the wide view of the satellite radar shows stronger storms to our north, but even here it did not turn out as bad as it could have, and that certainly is good news. Here's our computer model with the rain coming through the area, and we'll put it into motion through about 7, 8 o'clock this evening, moving on through the Acadiana area. By midnight or so, I think most of the rain will come to an end. The clouds, though, will linger. Again, the severe threat looks very low, but I will rule out another strong thunderstorm or two with maybe some small hail possibly out of some of those storms, but probably below severe levels. I'll be here this evening to keep a close eye on things. Your 7-day forecast tomorrow, much cooler. Look at that afternoon highs only in the 60s. Then the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday morning, will start off kind of chilly in the 40s, but it will warm up fairly quickly.
That used to terrify me when I was a child.
Right now to River, you can track it online and with our app.
No, always have some surprises.
Semi-one centered on Drew.
Yes. All right, thanks, Wade. Drew is here with sports and some football news.
Looks like next year is going to be a big year for high school football in Louisiana, and some of the top recruits in the entire nation will be playing their ball right here in Southwest Louisiana.
You're up
we'll tell you about it next in sports.
2, 1, fade, take it. 2.5. So I'm watching C. Such a disturbing imagination. What's in the router 1? What's flooding?
That's probably Illinois, I think. Well,
15.
Midwest, or it might be North Dakota.
Because the snow melting?
Yeah,
10.
Might be a big story next couple of weeks. Up along the Mississippi and down Mississippi.
5. Yeah, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see.
Now 7 Sports with Drew Shirley, local first.
Go Key, my cue.
It was a big night last night at Cowgirl Diamond. A record crowd coming out to watch Southwest Louisiana's two favorite teams. McNeese Cowgirls, of course, and the 11th ranked LSU Lady Tigers. Carl Vincent throwing out the first pitch to daughter Emily. But then LSU gets going in the first inning. Sandra Simmons the single out the left field. A.J. Andrews scores to make it 1-0 LSU. In the second inning is J.C. Blades. She drops one into center field. Andrews around again to make it 2-0. McNeese coming back, bottom of the second. Ashley Modzalewski way back and gone, a solo home run. Now it's 2-1 LSU, but the Lady Tigers piling on in the fourth. A.J. Andrews drops the ball down the right field line. 2 runs come around to score, and the Lady Tigers take a 5-1 lead. And then moments later, Bianca Bell. That is going, and gone. A 3-run home run. Lady Tigers win this one big. 7-1.
He's up on cam.
High school football season is still 4 months away, but it's already looking like the class of 2014 could be one of the best ever in Louisiana. ESPN has released its rankings of the top seniors in the nation.
We're going to wipe
11 of the top 150 on the list are from Louisiana. That includes Barb wide receiver Trey Quinn, who's listed at number 39 overall and is the top-ranked player from Southwest Louisiana. Westlake tight end Ja'Cory Washington comes in at 119 on the ESPN list.
Full screen.
According to the ESPN 150,
We're gonna wipe
3
the
of the
video
top
out
10
of 3
recruits in the nation are from Louisiana, including overall #1 Leonard Fournette from St. Augustine High School in New Orleans. All 5 of the players on your screen are considering LSU, including Ja'Cory Washington, who is already committed to the Tigers. Recruiting is over for 2 young ladies from Barb High School today. Courtney Jix has signed her letter of intent to play basketball and compete in track and field at Loyola University in New Orleans. And her teammate Melissa Shadoin has signed to play basketball at Doane College in Nebraska next fall. And weather permitting, there's a big baseball game over at Barb tonight. #1 ranked Buccaneers and #10 Sulphur. Golden Tours won the first meeting, but I don't know if they're going to get to play since all this rain is falling. If we have a game, we'll have extended highlights for you tonight at 10. There you see the game we hope to show you highlights of tonight. NBA regular season ended last night with the Rockets and the Lakers battling for the 7th seed in the Western Conference. Steve Blake hits the 3 and the Lakers take the lead late. Rockets down 3, time winding down. Jeremy Lin kicks it to Chandler Parsons at the buzzer. It's good. We're going to overtime. Houston down 3 in the OT, and James Harden driving to the basket. Dwight Howard gets the block. James Harden does not get the call. Lakers win by 3. They get the 7th seed against San Antonio in the first round. Houston will play Oklahoma City, and sadly, the New Orleans Hornets will watch the playoffs from their television sets.
All right, the Pelicans.
Sneak in your cart.
Coming up next, the rain is another check of the weather, so stay with us.
Till night's fade. 2854. It just wouldn't come up.
Yeah.
What to fuss at him, but he's Jude and he's nice, and I'm trying not to go that route, but it's just like, seriously, dude, you totally forgot how to make these graphics 15. That's like a huge requirement of your job. What exactly is a mic clip? 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see. I didn't understand it in that context. What? My cue.
Strong cold fronts moving through the area this evening as we speak. Now, the good news by strong, I do not mean severe weather. I mean temperature change behind it, but it is bringing some rain. We'll zoom in a little closer to see some of the showers going on across Vernon and Beauregard parishes. Again, nothing severe, but at least some rain. There's the line itself from just now east of Oakdale to east of Pender. Farther south along the line, pretty much middle on US.
I could pop up that bomb suspect and just be like, hey, look for this dude. 30.
There's some showers around. It won't rain all night, but
yeah, it was a joke.
Between now 9 and 10 o'clock tonight, things tapering off. After that, again, it won't rain that entire time, though. There'll be big breaks in between. So hopefully they get those baseball games Drew mentioned in
15.
All right, you just got to learn how to keep all of your clothes in the closet,
yes.
shorts,
10.
Sweaters, all of that together.
Definitely so.
All right. We'll be back here tonight at 10 for Nightcaster. Anytime online and on your mobile device at KPLC-TV.com. Have a great evening.
Fade take.